Okay, so this section demystifies spreadsheets by focusing on structure and basic calculations. Learners will set up a functional budget tracker and perform their first automated calculations, turning a confusing grid into a powerful tool. For many people, a spreadsheet is the most intimidating program on a computer. It appears to be an endless grid of boxes, but what if I told you it's actually just a piece of magic paper that can do math for you? Today, we are going to build a tool that can help you, a tool that can help you understand and control your finances. This will help you learn how to use spreadsheets and clear yourself of the fear. Let's get started. Have you ever wondered where your salary or business income goes each month? You get paid, you pay some bills, and suddenly it feels like the money has vanished. Spreadsheets give you the power to see the story of your money clearly. In this session, we are not just going to learn about cells and formulas. We are going to build a real working budget tracker. By the end of this session, you will have created a document that can automatically add up all your expenses. This is a foundational skill for managing personal finances or even a small business budget. So here you are going to learn and understand the layout of spreadsheets, the structure and format of a professional looking budget tracker, and you are going to also use the sum function to total your expenses. Okay, we'll start. Okay, first let's create the headings for our budget tracker. Already I have opened Excel in on the desktop. If you have Excel on the desktop, you can as well open it for yourself, or you can use from your phone. But if you choose to use Google Sheets, you can simply open your browser, type docs.google.com. Then when it opens, you have to select spreadsheet, that is sheets. So you saw where I went to, then you select sheets. So when this sheet starts, a new sheet, spreadsheet appears, you can select blank spreadsheet. Okay, I'm going to work from, whether you are working here using Google Sheets or you are working here using Excel, it's still the same thing. So what we need to do first is to create our headings. So we are going to build a structure for our budget tracker. So first of all, in cell A1 I will type items. In cell A2 I'm going to type category. Now items is going to help us enter the items of our expenses, maybe airtime, maybe transport, and all the items. Then here is going to be category. We'll try the much we can to categorize our expenses. If we are in business, you can categorize your business expenses. Maybe you can categorize it under utilities. You can also categorize under maybe permits and levies and permits, and all the rest of the expenses that took place. Okay, so we have categories. Then we can also look at we can also look at budgeted amount. Now this is the amount. You can say budgeted amount or you say projected amount. Then we can now say actual amount. Okay, actual amount. Then we can now say the difference here. Now the budgeted amount is going to be the amount we budgeted to spend on that item. Then the actual amount is going to be the actual amount we spent on that item. Then the difference is going to give us the difference between the actual and the budget amount. Okay, so now that we have entered this, if you are working with Google Sheets, it's still the same thing. You start with items, categories, projected amounts, then actual amounts, and then the difference. I'm trying to do this so that you'll be able to follow up. Now the next thing we do is to format the headings. Here you select and make this bold B, or you press Ctrl B. The same thing here, you select the entire heading and you click B here to make it bold. Okay, now one thing here is that this might not really enter the list of our items, so I might need to expand to increase the size of these items. Then the categories also, I might try to increase the categories. Now when I'm doing this, I will try to see, in case I want to print, I will click on page break preview to monitor where the page is going to break, so that I will not exceed one page for this. Now here I'm going to, for budgeted amount, I will just increase this. Now this is where the page is going to break in G. So for actual amount, I will increase it. Then the difference. Okay, now this is where the page will break. Now everything rhymes. Now I can decide to increase the font. Okay, sorry about that. I can decide to increase the font. So I will select the items, increase the font size, and everything rhymes. Meanwhile, here I can decide to wrap it. So I will select wrap text. Okay, this looks better. Now the same thing I will do in my Google Sheet. Also, I can decide to increase the font size. Then I can also try to widen some of these things. But I know that the sizes are quite okay for me here. I can decide to widen them as the case may be. Okay, so let me just take the actual width. Okay, so that is how it is. We can also decide to change the, we can also decide to convert this to a table, but I will do that in the next video. At least I want you to practice this and get it right. Okay, so now I'm going to finish up with the formatting. I'm going to add currency to the amount and the difference. Then I will add I will convert this to a table, so that whenever you add an item, it will automatically expand on its own. Then I will now add formula to it. Okay, but before we add formula, let us first of all complete the formatting. Okay, here is Google Sheet. Before I continue, let me reduce this a little bit and this a little bit. Let me see, let me use wrap here so that this will expand. I'm going to go to format, then wrapping, then wrap. Okay, so I have this like this. I prefer it this way. I think this is better for me. Expand a little here. Okay, now I'm going to add this. I'm going to convert this to currency. So what I'm going to do is go to format and numbers. I'm going to use currency. Let me use custom currency here. Then here I'm going to type Naira. Okay, Nigerian Naira. So I'm going to apply it. So here actually sorry, I'm supposed to select this place and down. Okay, so that it will become currency for me. That's what I made a mistake selecting that. So here a point here, custom, so Nigerian naira. Okay, so the same thing I will do in Excel. Here I'm going to also choose currency. Here it's going to be naira. In this case I'm going here, let's see the symbol. I'm going here, I'm going to choose currency, but I'm going to select the exact currency. So when I come down to currency, I'm going to choose naira. Okay, sometimes you have to look out for Igbo or thereabouts. So okay, let's look out for, okay, so here I have okay, naira there. Okay, selected. Now what it means is that if I put an item, let's say rent here, category household, let's say amount 10,000 naira budgeted, let's say actual amount 15,000 naira. Okay, now I will get the difference, but that I will do later. Now one thing is that you notice that the naira is added here. Okay, let's do that in Google Sheets. Let's say rent here, actual category, let's say household item, projected amount, let's say 15,000 naira, actual amount, let's say 20,000 naira, and the difference we get. Now for us to create a table, we are going to highlight these two items just here and press Ctrl T, then my table have header, and I will click boom. Now the thing here is that I need to close up some of these gaps so that it will not exceed my expected page. Okay, so the page is intact then. Okay, with this table converted, let's go to Google Sheets. I'm trying to combine this so that you'll be able to work with the two spreadsheets as you wish. So here we also select, I'm going to convert this to table. So here select like we did in Excel. Then here we go to format, and you see that there's quite a difference here. Instead of selecting Control T, you hold Control Alt and T. So from format you click on convert to table, and that's quite clear. Okay, now the table has the headers. Then this is table 1, which you can actually change the table. Here you can say my budget tracker, my budget track. Okay, here is quite easy to handle that in Google Sheets. Okay, so in Excel, what I'm going to do is I've already created a table. So select a cell inside the table, go to table design, then here you see table name, you rename it to my budget tracker. Okay, my budget tracker. You notice I did not create a space. So my budget tracker. So I now have a table that holds on this. Now let's take for example, now you want to add another item. Maybe you bought a bag of rice, you now say rice. Okay, then this also household item. Then maybe you bought it, you budgeted 70,000 naira for rice. Okay, then actually you now spent 58,500 naira for this rice. Okay, so we'll also create this thing later. So you now notice that the table has expanded. Okay, you also do the same thing here in Google Sheets. Notice that now we have rice, household. Okay, the budget is 70,000 and we spend 58,500 naira. Okay, so that's it. You see the table is also expanded. So that's the good thing about table. Now next I want you to also practice what I taught you in this particular section. Now what you are going to do is try the more to do to convert the these columns to currency, add naira symbol to it, then convert the item to table, convert it to a table. So add few items. Then let's say the next section I'm going to we are going to add formula to the to get the difference and the total. Okay, so our final step to make our budget tracker start working is to add the difference. So we are going to add a formula that is going to give us the difference between the actual and the budgeted amount, and we will now add total to the budgeted amount total and the actual amount total. Now I'm going to, since we are using table, I'm going to quite make this thing very easy. Now under normal circumstance, if you want to add total sum, you are supposed to say equals. Now because you are going to enter a formula, so the equal sign is really needed. So I'm going to say equals sum. Now when I put in sum, so I'm going to actually put the total. Let's say D2 to let's say D15, all the rest like that. Say, so this is how you are going to sum it up. So all these things from here will be summed up here. So this is how you add up your total formula. But because we are using table, things are going to be quite easier. You can do the same thing in here to equals, let's say D2 to D15. Okay, so it's still exactly the same thing, so it will give you the same result. Okay, so that's it. Now what I'm going to do is, first of all, let us get the difference first. What is the difference between the actual and the projected? So here I'm working from this is Google Sheet first. So I'm working here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to say equals, because I'm entering a formula. So the equal sign is going to be, now Google has helped me to do the difference, which is D2 minus, which is C2 minus D2, but I need D2 minus C2, not the other way around. So I'm going to reject their suggestion and I'm going to use equals D2 minus C2. Okay, so this is what I need. Okay, so now this I'm going to fill it up here. Okay, so I'm filling it up for the items. Okay, now this one is negative. Now the same thing I'm going to do in Excel. So it's going to be equals actual amount minus budgeted amount. Okay, so Excel helps me to automatically fill the table. That's how it does in a table. Now, if I enter another item, let's say I'm on transport. Okay, so this one is work. Okay, so let's say my budgeted transfer for the month is 15,000 naira, and the actual expenses is 16,500. Okay, now that's it. I'm going to also do the same thing here. Transport for work, budgeted amount 15,000, actual spend 16,500. Okay, so you notice that that is it, everything here. Now it will be giving me the difference here of the actual and the actual minus the projected. Now what I'm going to do here is, how do I get the total since I'm using table? Now in Excel, you are going to select a cell in the table, go to table design and select total row. It will display the total row. Now you see the total row here. I need the total row here too. So here I'm going to say the sum. Here I'm going to also select the sum. Okay, so that's quite easy. So instead of entering a formula for the total, all I need to do is to just choose the total row. Now if I want to enter another item, I will still go back and remove this total row, then continue entering my formula, another item. So each time I want to know the total, I will go back and select the total row. The same thing you do in Google Sheet. Now Google Sheet own is quite easier. Now you don't need to go to any table design. All you need to do, because this is a table, here we have the table menu here. So you select down the table menu and you go to table formatting. Here you look and you select show table footer. So when you click on show table footer, it's going to show you the totals here. So these are the totals. Now you have minus 5,000 naira. So you can actually add total here if you want by typing it. Okay, so if you want to add another item, you also go there and select that table total, and that's it. Now it's quite easy, quite simple to handle, and this is how you create your budget tracker. Very easy. Now the next thing you need to do is to simply save your workbook. Now here you can go to file, click on save as, and select browse. Okay, so save your item wherever you want to save it. Here I will name it budget tracker, and you click save, and that's how you save your item. Now for Google Sheet, it's quite easier. All you need to do is, here you see untitled spreadsheet, you click on it, delete the untitled spreadsheet, and you can now put in budget tracker and press enter, and it will automatically save for you in your Google Drive. And that is it. That is where we are going to cap up for today's session. I just want to use this to teach you how to use Excel in a very simple format. If you want to learn more about Excel, we already have a tutorial Excel course for you in our website, so you can go there, and it's all free. Do your foundation of Excel and know everything you want to learn about Excel. But for now, this is where we'll cap up. Next week we are going to still do more of this Excel. That is it. So that is it. You've built a powerful automated tool from a blank page. You've learned about the spreadsheet environment and used your first most important formulas. What questions do you have about anything we've covered so far? Put them in the comment box. In our next session, analyzing your budget, we'll take this tracker to the next level. We'll learn how to find averages, see our spending visually with charts, and make the spreadsheet automatically highlight areas where we've overspent. See you on Friday at 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Please bear with me. I'm trying to make these sessions to be like 30 minutes because I noticed that it's like the length of time is making people not to hold on to the lesson. So I try to cut it short so that we'll be able to follow at all times. So thank you for being here. See you on Friday at 7 p.m.